Hello, it is your girl Em with Just Ask Em. I am joined with the Blake of You Can't Do It Yet podcast. Say hi.
Hi.
So once again, just enjoying the amazing energy between people in different states. Um, you had reached out probably a few weeks ago, and you were kind of getting your podcast started. But before we jump into that, who is Blake? What's a little bit about you?
I'm a man of faith. I
Love
always
that,
put God first.
that part.
I am a hard worker. I'm a dreamer. I like to try new things, even if I might fail.
Yeah, simply put, direct and to the point. I love it. So now, what do you do by day?
I work with kids with autism. So I
Okay,
do them one-on-one. My boss will formulate a plan and I will implement that plan. So there's a
okay.
lot of goals, a lot of um, feedback, and a lot of helping the kids grow and have a fighting chance when they're adults.
I like that. I have a cousin who has Down syndrome and autism, and then my nephew, I think he's in the process of seeing if he has autism.
They're so much fun. The kids with autism are so much fun.
Yeah, they're like little geniuses.
Honestly, they really are, and they keep me humble.
Yes, and that is a beautiful thing in this world today is being kept humble. I wish more of that.
Right? I need it.
Yeah. So outside of that, you recently started a podcast. How has that journey been for you?
It's been great, honestly. It's kind of taken me by storm. Out of nowhere, I just kind of got booked out with people and
Yeah.
met a lot of great people, you being one of them.
Thank you, thank
And
you.
of course, thank you for being part of the journey. And so I've reconnected with people that I haven't talked to in 10 plus years because of
Wow.
the podcast. And so it's been a
Love
lot of making new friendships and rekindling old ones, which has been amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
So now, and because I get this question a lot. A lot of people ask, like, what is the topic of my podcast? What would you say the topic of yours is?
It's the same, but it's different every time, right?
Hmm.
So the title is You Can't Do It Yet. So the premise of my podcast is for the audience, maybe they struggle with confidence. They were told they
Hmm.
can't do something.
Hmm.
So my goal was to get as many different kinds of successful people, whatever that looks like,
Okay.
and interview them to show the audience that anything is possible. So it's really about success, but also what that journey looks like.
Hmm. And I think that's amazing. And I think, did you find me on social media?
Yeah, well, I did one of the boosts. You actually found me,
I
which I'm
found you.
super
Okay.
grateful for. Yeah, I boosted one of my pictures, and then you just started following me, and
Yeah.
then we connected, and I didn't have as many people to interview.
Yeah.
Someone like canceled on me last minute, then I
Yeah.
reached out to you,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Yeah, I'd be happy to help you with your journey." And so I'm super grateful. You were the
Yeah.
second interview I ever did.
And you were
Yeah.
okay. And first of all, you are my 30th. So let's go and thank
Well,
you. Yes.
okay.
I was like, so I have my consistency, every time I have a
Yeah.
guest, I usually do my little preset thing and I always change which
Yeah.
episode, the title. And I'm like, episode 30, let's go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go. You're doing it.
Right. So I think what it was when I seen your page, and this is what like lately my podcast has been like magic because I'm like, am I booked in November? Like, what is happening?
Right?
So let's keep the energy going. Um, so I'm just like, I've only been at this 7 months.
Right.
So like it's amazing.
It is.
And the fact that it's like already poured into like different states already is like even
Right.
better. And I think I seen your
Yeah.
page and I was just like, you gotta start. And
Yeah.
a lot of the time, like that is exactly where a lot of people are not bold enough to just like go for it.
100%.
You know what I mean? And
100%.
I think it's a thing of normalizing, like, hey, listen, if you gotta reach out to somebody for help or you don't know where to start, certain things are gonna come up. Well, yeah, people might
Yeah,
cancel on you, this and that.
yeah,
It's okay to have a plan B. But it also,
absolutely.
like you said, it's not failure. It exercises your creativity to be like, I'm not gonna let this, just keep me
Right,
down. And what am I gonna do to kind of just bounce back, keep going? So I have to
right.
say, I'm absolutely proud of you for
Thank you.
starting and sticking with that part. Because I myself have gone through, and like I said, my interview with you was sometimes it can just be so discouraging when you're like, you try, you fail, so
100%.
it doesn't work. And it's just like, okay. But it's just, at the same time, if people look at it like that actually is data, that is research, that is process of elimination, and it's just part of the process. So I do feel like when I changed my mindset and perspective of looking at it that way, I was like, no problem, because if this pops up, I know it's not going to work. Boom. That's one less thing I have to figure out. You know what
Well,
I mean?
you were actually inspired me to continue doing the podcast because when I did my first episode, I think I
You were
had
stressing a bit.
before
You
I
were
put my
stressing.
first episode out, I recorded it with you.
Okay.
And before I did my first episode, I recorded one just me of like
Mhm.
introducing my podcast, introducing myself. I never put it out because I'm like, I don't like the sound of my voice. I didn't like this, that, and the other. And so then I recorded the first one, the second with you, and then I don't remember what you said, but there was something that you told me that was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Mhm.
Whatever people think of it. And what's funny, since I've done it, people have come up to me and like, dude, your podcast, there's something special there. You're doing something. And so I never thought I would hear those words even to this day, like even if I never heard that and I just put it out there and never heard like, dude, this is really good. You have a really good podcast going. I'd keep doing it. But the fact that people are coming to me saying you had a good podcast, someone told me I inspired them or my podcast inspired them. And that's cool. That keeps me.
That is the key. That is the ingredient.
Yep.
That is the most important part. Because
Yep.
I've been I think I might be on the spectrum of autism. You might have to diagnose me. My mind doesn't stop. I think I'm a modern day MacGyver. I have creative ideas for days. I have anxiety. I have OCD. I like to perfect. I like to control.
Yeah.
It's fine. I accept it. I learned how to channel it. I
Right.
channel that. I love business, which is why I created businesses.
Yeah.
It helps me with my head keeping it straight in just everyday life. And that was the thing about my podcast. I said, no matter what it looks like, if I have people or not, I'll sit there and talk to myself. I haven't been able to have my own episode because I always have a guest, and I'm like, okay, this is great. But that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. And
Yeah.
I am a person of faith. I am so big on energy. I feel like to a point, it is a level of discernment on another person's authenticity, energy,
Absolutely.
and their genuineness. So that makes me happy to hear that people are telling you that. And that
Yeah.
was my exact point of, if you have a great idea, if you see the vision so strong, if you feel like it's going to be motivation and inspiration to others, forget the rest. Forget the noise. Forget people's opinions, what they think it should be.
Right.
Suggestions and critiques are okay, but you have to stay true to yourself and what
Yeah.
your purpose was in starting it. And I think that's the biggest key. It's also the most difficult thing to do because you might be standing alone a lot of the time because it is different than what is
Yeah.
easy to follow and go with, especially these days. So
Right.
kudos to you. That's amazing to hear. And I'm glad it's turning out like that for you.
Me too.
Yay.
It's been such a fun ride getting to know different people. I have two podcasts with really good friends of mine recorded that I need to edit, and then I have a podcast that I'm doing on the 25th.
Mhm.
And and then you introduced me to a guy named Kyle. Shout out Kyle. We actually talked on the phone today. I got so busy with the podcast, I had forgot I needed to call him, and then he texted me. He's like, "Hey, we still gonna connect?" I'm like, "I am so sorry." So we
Tell them I
talked
came first. No, I'm
today.
kidding.
I yeah,
Blame it on me.
I'm too important now. No, no, no,
All
no, no.
right.
But I told Kyle, I'm like, yeah, dude, let's. So we talked on the phone today, and we're gonna set something up
Great.
sometime in November, and it's just
I
been
love
it's
it.
been it's been cool.
Okay, catching up with me, and you've only been in the business a couple months.
Look,
Let's
I
go.
I had like
Yeah.
quiet competition, so you're like, I got all these
Collaboration, not competition.
right. So I'm like, all right, let me get there. Hold up, I'm gonna work in the dark for a little bit. I'm gonna
Yeah.
catch up.
Yeah, and that's what it but it's also feeling comfortable in doing that where
Mhm.
you're not measuring your journey to somebody else's, but you're looking at it as, okay, they're doing it. Okay, I got to keep going. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Pushes
outside
me.
of yeah, outside of having, people already, I think that's amazing to have people already recognizing that there is something different. I strongly believe that too. I think people like you and I, especially these days, are important because yes, we got Jesus. And these days, you better have some God in you because dealing with this stuff in a fleshly way, I'm sorry, but it ain't it. Okay,
Nah,
like I gotta start putting cream under my eyes any day now. I'm hitting 35 this month, so
that's good. Happy birthday! When's your birthday?
2027. You
Okay.
know, us women, we like to celebrate all month.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kidding, girl.
So,
That's
what are some other influences and inspirations that have kept you motivated in just the beginning of your strong journey already?
the biggest motivation is being able to possibly influence one person. I don't know who that's going to be. I don't know if they've been influenced yet. I don't know. But whether I have millions of subscribers and listeners or 20, if I can just influence one person to be like, man, Blake's podcast pushed me to follow my dreams just like you did that for
Mhm.
me, right? That's what pushes me. Is I don't know if I've met if the person has
Mhm.
heard my podcast yet. So I got to keep going and keep
Yeah,
going and
absolutely.
keep going because I can't stop now. I what
There's no need
motivates
to.
me. Yeah, absolutely. And what's interesting when you have a passion and you really are invested in the idea and you believe in it 1000%, it doesn't feel like work.
Worst. Yes.
I love doing it, even though I have a million different things going on. I'm going to school to become a therapist. I have a
Yeah.
full-time job. I'm married. I have dogs. So I got to do all of these different things, plus the podcast.
Mhm.
But I don't ever think I have to do the podcast. It's I
It calls you.
get to do something. It calls me. I can't stop. Like there's something in me that just can't stop. And anytime I feel like I want to stop, oh, I'm doing another interview out of nowhere. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
listen, honey, that ain't nothing but God. We are
that's
so
it.
aligned. We are so aligned. You may have escalated a little quicker to the similar part of my journey that I'm in. Because my cousin, he said the same thing. He's like, wow, you're really busy. He's like, but like same thing. I'm just like, but that's like my happy place. Like after a long day, like yeah, I'm still okay sitting there at the end of the day watching, rewatching it, editing. Like but it takes time, but it's just like it's that one thing out of the rest of adulting, life, marriage, schooling for you that it just slows you down enough where it's just like you know what I mean? And it's just like I think it's the rewarding feeling and number one, what you mentioned, having a passion for it helps you know
Right.
when you have a passion for it, the fulfilling part is feeling like it's purposeful, it's intentional. And although
Yeah.
sometimes it can feel like, I don't know who I'm speaking to, but what we have to worry about is we just need to be the vessel that spreads what somebody, whoever that may be, needs to
Yeah.
hear in that
Yeah.
moment. They might be battling something spiritually, being tormented physically by something. And that's why it's so important to stay that focused and have that intuition, listening to the discernment or whatever it is speaking to you. Because there are some things that just drop in your mind and heart, and you're like, okay, I'm going to talk about that. Even if it's a short, like for me, like my style is I'll have my full episode, but I have my own things to say, and I'll turn it into like a little short.
Right.
And I feel like as long as you're consistent, you're purposeful and intentional with what you're saying, at one point or another, like I said, that person who needs to hear will hear. And it's not about, you could have a million subscribers, but like, are they all even listening versus, hey, I got
Uh,
105 subscribers right now, but maybe, majority of them are listening. And
Right.
at the end of the day, I don't think it's about the number. It's really about the substance of whose life are you changing? Who's listening? Who do you save in a moment that you don't even know you saved them? And I think that's the importance of like when you do have this vision, as long as you stay so faithful in believing in it, you don't know what it can turn into. And a
Right.
lot of the time, people allow themselves to get intimidated by famous people or like people who are just, oh my God, worldwide known. Guess what? They probably started in an office just like this with 50
Yeah.
subscribers.
Absolutely.
And
And
it's just
maybe
the
they're
truth.
not happy. Maybe they have all of these money, all of this money,
Hmm.
subscribers, and all these things, and they're not happy when in reality, I'm in a spot with, I'm not able to monetize yet from the podcast, which is fine, but I'm happy. I'm
Hmm.
happy where I'm at with the product I'm putting out. I know that I can be better. I know that I'm not the best at it yet, right? I can't do it yet, but I'll get there with time, patience, practice, persistence. And so I think a lot of the times we forget that it's okay to not have a lot of subscribers, not have a lot of listeners. Now, if your goal is to have 1 million listeners, then yeah, you should be hitting your goals and figure out how to do that. But if your goal is just to get people inspired and motivated, and you have 20 listeners, then you're doing it.
Hmm. Hmm.
20 people
Hmm.
listen to you, and hopefully we're inspired by something either the guest or the host said.
And what's not to say that one subscriber could have it on the TV full of five people? You know what I'm saying?
No,
There
right,
you go,
exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it's just that, you know what I mean? Just focusing on those things, but also everything. I think between people, society, and social media, what they've misunderstood, everything money driven doesn't mean it's successful.
True.
So, and your success shouldn't rely on how much money it creates also. I like to work backwards in the sense of, well, with my other businesses, I'm a mobile service. So now if I'm
Right,
in people's houses or that type of things, I don't have my own personal venue, I have to think as far as if I'm hosting an event in somebody's home, somebody trips and falls, I have to have business insurance. God forbid anything. So
right.
those types of things where it's just like, if I didn't have that, that could ruin me completely before even starting. So when
Yeah,
you focus on the foundation, when you get your ducks in a row, when you solidify the scenarios that may occur but haven't occurred yet, that's what prepares you. That organization, that thinking ahead,
yeah,
even if something doesn't happen how you planned it, how are you getting back up without getting flustered, upset, and just losing your clarity and focus?
right.
So having the most of something, and what is even being the best, what I might find very interesting, you may not, but guess what, that person might have 500 subscribers just like the other person might have 500 subscribers, but it's people just have different tastes in things. So I
Mhm.
feel like there's so many things that limit people, that convince them, oh well, that's not going to be cool. That's, listen, you got clicks, you got people who are interested in things that nobody ever heard of. You know what I'm saying? So like I think it's really a mindset thing. It's your perspective, investing that time and energy on why did you start it? What is your goal with it? What is it
Right.
that you want people to benefit when you are doing these things?
Yeah,
And there's not enough of influence of that through social media, or maybe like the wrong, connections with people or acquaintances. And I think if people focus on those things more, they might realize like a change or a shift in life, but because we're always going to be a work in progress.
absolutely. Yeah, no one's perfect. You just keep riding the wave and you're gonna crash a couple times, but you get back up.
Hmm.
Keep swimming, keep riding that wave, and eventually you'll lead to you'll be led to what you view as success. And whatever that is,
Mhm.
however you want to measure that, it's completely up to you. I was having a conversation with a buddy last night actually for a podcast, and he was telling me that he used to identify with the kind of position and the amount of money he was making.
Mm.
That value to him. And he's like, that's not lasting. He's like, yeah, I made a little bit of money here and there,
Mhm.
but it doesn't mean anything.
Mhm.
It goes away, right? You
Mhm.
can't take it with you. And so he's like, now how I value myself is, what are my connections like with my wife,
Mhm.
my kids, my friends, my coworkers? Do I have good actual um, uh, great connections?
Mhm.
If I don't, I'm not successful.
Yeah.
That's how everyone should be. Because if you create genuine connections, everything else comes, right? The Everything else comes. If
Mhm.
you're passionate
Mhm.
about something and you have good connections, solid, genuine connections, it comes.
And then, like I said, that goes right back to the beginning.
Yeah.
You put God first. When you put God first, that's more than half the battle. Because now I don't got to lean on my own understanding. I ain't got
Yep.
to put so much strain on my spirit. And now I can let the flesh not be so anxious. And
Right.
people, and like I said, like the world we live in these days.
Crazy.
Yeah, I be trying to switch stuff up that was never meant to be switched up. But go ahead and keep doing it. And it doesn't work. I was just
Yeah.
having this conversation with my
Yeah.
cousin earlier. Like,
Yeah.
there's just some things that had a point. A man was meant to be a protector, a provider, and the head of his home. A
Correct.
woman, you're supposed to submit to your man, and that is not in a negative way. That doesn't make you less equal. That is
Yeah.
an elegant, beautiful thing of a woman, because a woman is supposed to be a healer and a nurturer.
Yeah.
So those things, they work, they were set up like that for a reason. The American dream, that is not a dream at all. I'm sorry, but that is a nightmare. These things that we call success, titles, how much you make, how much money and assets you have, that's not happiness. It is not. Is it essential to live? Yes. But I myself am finding more value. Time is not guaranteed. The memories that I create, being present, the moment, showing up, quality time, those are the things of value. And like you said, the quality connections. And that can be anything from family to relationship to work to everyday life. You have to be conscious of what and who you are surrounding yourself by, because spirits are a real thing. And if you are surrounding yourself by the wrong thing, you will sense that in your energy when you leave a place or when you leave people.
Hmm.
If you are feeling more drained than when you went there, or you were around them, that tells you what you need to know. If you're
Right.
not leaving people or a place either feeling the same or more empowered, then you ain't got no business being there around them people. And don't feel bad
Correct.
for shedding those things or shedding those people.
Absolutely.
It's not a bad thing. It's part of the process, it's part of the journey. And the more you hang on to those things, the more you're going to slow down your blessings and your growth. So, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, when God is the center of it all, number one, when
Mm-hmm.
you are just conscious of the things that have true value, I'm in that same stage. I'm like, okay, I got so much coming at me, but I'm not overwhelmed. And it's just like aligning so great, because what I'm focusing on is allowing those things to come at the right time and in the right ways. But it's not, you know, putting me in a thing where I'm like, oh my God, it's too much. It's too much. It's just right, because what's meant for you will find you in the time that it's meant to find you.
Right.
And people underestimate the power of those things. Sometimes it's just so much overthinking, and that's a distraction of what you could really be walking in and what's really purposeful and intentional.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, with that being
And,
said, what difference do you see yourself making in the near future with the podcast or in other aspects of your life?
I so in couple thoughts. I try not to focus about it too much and be in the present and just let
Mhm.
God worry about the future.
Amen.
Uh, God's taking care of it. On the other note, 2027, I plan to graduate grad school to become a mental health therapist.
Honey, that ain't nothing but God. You let me know when because we'll be
I
expanding
got
into a
you.
second office, and if we need to do virtual.
That's right. I got you.
Hmm.
I got you. But that's yeah, that's me. I want to be. I would love to continue this podcast, see where it goes, and become a therapist and help people one on one where I can talk to them one on one, like what we're doing, in case they had any trauma or they're dealing with anything. But
You'll be like the podcast therapist.
that's right.
I love that. And it's like, once again, just God never ceases like to amaze me because I am a personal assistant by day at a mental health therapist office. So the fact that that's a thing, he's just expanding into his second office that I get to design and I'm having fun with.
I
Um,
love it.
yes, and it's just and the growth and just using this to our advantage, the right way of being able to do things virtually. And I don't care who it is. Everybody got trauma. Everybody got past. Everybody got hurt. Everybody's probably jacked up in some way. You might be better. You might be healed.
I know I'm jacked up.
But but we have to normalize this because what people don't realize is social media. The facade says, "Hi, I'm good." How many times you ask somebody, "How are you?" "I'm good." "How are you?" Think about it and then answer. And I guarantee you, most of the time, people would probably be pulled back and be like, "How am I?"
Yeah, or I'm not good.
You know, or like, "I'm okay,
Struggling.
but just not today."
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
and
Yeah.
and what people don't realize is the more you keep ignoring that, the more you keep, you know, pushing it down, pushing it, it's self-sabotage, it's self-destruction. It's not good. And
No.
it will
Talk about
surface.
things.
Yeah.
Talk about things. Whatever it is, it could be maybe I think it's small, but to you it's large.
It's the
So
respect
what
of that.
it's perspective, right? So
Mhm.
you're dealing with something, to you it's large, and if it's large or small to you, talk about it.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Get it out there because a lot of the times what we feel like is so scary and detrimental to our life isn't that bad.
Mhm.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah. And it's not to dismiss, but sometimes when
No,
you think that something is the end of the world for you, when you hear that next person's story, you're gonna be like, "I'm fine." Just kidding.
right. I'll be all right.
Like, and I
Yeah.
think like even that too, I don't know, I did a business class a while ago and they described Americans as not being very loud, obnoxious, and not very good listeners. And I do think whether I don't know if it's a generational thing or like here or what it is, I think people do need to become better listeners.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is just because I think there's so much hesitance in people just talking about things because they already are
Right.
assuming people don't want to listen just because the way the world is, everything's so instant, rush, and I don't have
Yeah,
enough time and I'm so busy. And it's like,
I think we just want to be right.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? So it's like if we're having a conversation, I have an opinion. My opinion, for whatever reason, is right, and it has
mm-hmm,
to be right. And that's not the case.
yeah. I think the best thing I seen was it's not about being right. It's just respecting it from the different perspectives, seeing it from the different
Yeah,
perspectives.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean? And like my part-time job is I do home care, and the reason I'm grateful for that is because it's with elder people,
Yeah.
and they're just gold. They're wisdom. It's just like you
Yeah.
grew up with them, you're around them, and it just like you look at them and when they're around certain things and how their times were, and it's just like you look at how things are today. You have to adapt, yes. But
Yeah.
sometimes you wish it's just like, I know the simple times had bad times too, but you know,
Oh man, I always think if I could go back
yeah.
20 something years,
I think I wasn't meant to be in this era. I think I was like meant to be in like the 70s.
I was meant to stay a millennial for well, I'm a millennial forever, but I was meant to be like a
Stay that
teenager.
right.
Yeah, stay in the 2012,
Right.
2011 time.
Yeah, that was like the good times where like things were just fun. You'd have to
Ah,
fear for your life. It was
I'm
just
trying to tell you, man. It was a blast. And then from 2010 to 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Those
span
are
of
our
years,
golden years.
so much. I was in college. Oh man, I could go on about that.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. Yes, I do reminisce a lot, probably more than I should. Um, but I am the person I am today because of those times.
Exactly.
Where I'm at today because of those times.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could go back, would I've changed it and stuff? Sure.
Yeah.
But if we can, if I can learn to just live in the moment, I
Mm-hmm.
struggle with that. If I can learn to live in the moment, I could probably capture the same happiness I had back then, which sometimes I don't.
Phenomenal point. Phenomenally said. Yep. Absolutely. Because I was a dweller. Oh my God, failure. I'm so hard on myself. So, stop it.
Yeah,
Unless you don't
yeah,
have a machine that can rewind time, stop it. What's done is done. From this point on, just continue to be better and do better. Whatever
yeah.
was in the past, don't even give people the power of allowing those things in the past to define your present or future because the devil is a lie.
If you do dwell on the failure, my buddy said, and I've known this for a while. My buddy said, let yourself sit in that pain. I failed. Now try and deconstruct why that failure bothered you so much, because it might be a deeper issue.
A trigger.
You know,
hmm
a trigger. Am I really upset because someone cut me off, or is there something else going on
Right.
that I'm aware of? So I also think it's important to allow yourself to sit in the pain.
And that right there requires slowing down,
Hmm.
putting the phone down sometimes,
Hmm.
forgetting about social media, forgetting about keeping up with people and things. And like you
Yeah,
said, just sitting there, deconstructing. And if it's a failure and you figured it out or not, just accepting it, being okay
yeah,
with it so you
yeah,
can then move on.
yeah.
And I think, and same here, like I learned to be present and in the moment more like, you know what? I'm doing good right where I am. Are there some things I would change? Yeah, but not much because I am who
Right.
I am now because of
Yeah.
how those things went exactly. And I think that's major. And, keep doing what you're doing. If you had one or two people tell you that they like it, but you've already done your good deed because somebody watched it enough to
Right.
recognize that. So
Yeah.
stay strong, faithful, and obedient. Nothing you don't know already. Keep doing your
Right.
thing. The hard days are gonna come, and you just lean on him, and you wake up the next day, and you wake up
Correct.
fierce.
And I just let me let me make up here real quick. Hold on.
Yes. Well, Blake, this has been an absolute honor. I'm so happy that I had the honor of being on your podcast and vice versa. Let's
Oh, it's been
continue
a
to
pleasure.
collaborate. I love the
Thank
energy. Keep it going, and many blessings,
you
to
as
you
well.
in your
Let's
future.
stay connected.
Absolutely.